just ordered seats for this truck. Let's get these old ones out. I am going to be at the Mid-America Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky on March 28th in 4State Trucks booth, which is 16140. I will be there from 10 to 12, and I would love to see some of you guys come out and say hi. I hope to see you there. I'm getting all my parts for this truck build from 4State Truck. They have a mobile app, so it's super easy to order from, and you can use my code PROJECT10 for 10% off your whole order at checkout. And if you guys would do me a big favor, say thank you to 4State Trucks down in the comments. 4State Trucks is one of the reasons I'm able to bring you guys videos of restoring this super awesome truck. It might seem a little excessive, but right now is the best time to clean up all this stuff. vacuuming the mouse house I found out up here, and look at this. Old boy stored his flashlight up there. That's cool. Kicked all the mice out. That's all clean up top, clean down below. What's the right stuff to use to kind of clean, hopefully help get rid of the smell too? I got a $99 super chat from one of the viewers, Neil Shoemaker 1955, and I am extremely thankful for that. If you're watching, my guy, thank you. I really appreciate it. This is just sound deadening stuff. And this is the floor pan where the seats go. So I'm just gonna put some in here. On second thought, this would be outside. How's this stuff gonna hold up exposed to water and road grime? Probably not very good. I wanted to deaden this a little bit, but I should just use something like this on the inside. Probably wouldn't hurt to do this in warm weather, but doesn't need to be hot. It's not, you know, if it's not 15 degrees, it works a lot better. We'll see, hopefully. There she be. I also use this Scotch foil tape, and I taped every one of the seams. I don't know if it's necessary or if it'll actually do anything, but it looks nice. Hate to do this because the ones over there are all quarter, and these kind of end up having to be 5/16 because the holes are too big. What are you doing? What are you doing? careful. What are you doing? You can't really come up here, but there's not enough room. And there's holes, big holes in the floor. This is the T that comes up out of the floor that feeds the air seats. See that line? If it's not already leaking, it's about to be. Also changing this line, which goes over to that air seat. Easiest time to do this kind of stuff is while I got the floor out. Give up, you're dead. Dude, get off of it. I didn't need that knuckle. Okay. Next morning, current temp 9 degrees. Thank God it only feels like -7. This would really suck if it was cold. This is a new hair dryer. See, when you paint stuff and it's like 0 degrees out, the paint doesn't dry, it just freezes. It's actually better. This is a pretty messy, jumbled mess here. I don't like it. A couple of these airlines actually go to the dryer, and I'm going to start redoing airlines with the plastic line and the compression fittings, really for no other reason than just to clean this up, and I can make them on site. And right to it. Nice. Just keeping everything nice. Second line coming in. Those two airlines are run. I guess these are called control airlines. Don't know why. Just repeating what I read. And it's already looking better in here. I'm going through cutting zip ties off the feed line to the air dryer. And you have the plastic zip ties. It's easy to drop them on the ground. I hate garbage laying around outside. I find it to be one of the most disgusting things to leave garbage around. So one of the things I found to really help with that is you just bring a garbage can outside with you, a smaller one, and you kind of drag it around, and it's just easy to throw stuff right inside there. It's important if you're cutting lines in a big cluster like this, you want to nick and whack every other line so that they all leak too. Okay. Back to my custom creation. Get rid of this whole mess. Why would it go easy when it could just go hard? That air dryer is hooked up. Supply side coming in, control going back to the tanks. Sun's peeking out a little bit. So nice. It's a lot better. This fuel line needs to get corrected. That should come up and go over. It's just a mess in here and I just don't like it. And that line from the air dryer is coming back into the tank here, which then goes out and feeds the other tanks. Next day, 15 degrees. Feels like 3 today, warming up. People are always shocked that I work in these kind of temperatures. You gotta get used to it. You gotta acclimate. Being comfortable all the time is like really not good for you. Stress your body out, you'll be all right. How many people do you know that are alive today that have died from cold exposure? That's gonna be nice to listen to. Oh, it's still winter. Last night, got back from the wallet draining store and I got new hoses and lines and I can't remember what these are for. Also got some fittings for the airline to feed the seats, which by the way are coming in today, hopefully, and we can have brand new seats from 4 State Trucks in my truck. And I'll just answer the question that I know is coming, is that I'm going to be doing this cab in kind of sections. I am going to do a big hole kit on this. Jeremy over at 4 State talked me into it. I think he's totally correct. It just makes these cabs so much more roomy. I also found that the roof of this truck is in pretty poor condition, and I will be replacing that with a fiberglass one. And while I do some things backwards, I'm not going to go put a brand new, complete, shiny new interior in this and then have to rip the roof out, cut a big hole for the big hole, and ruin all that work. But I still have to drive it, and I'm not sitting on a 5-gallon bucket. The flooring is gonna go back in, the seats will go in and get all hooked up. If you've done a restoration, you understand. And sometimes my ADD kicks in, I get very excited, and I just wanna go drive it. I must be able to drive my truck. This is that fitting I broke off. This is going to make a hellacious mess. Not too bad. Got a quick question for you guys. This is a Kaiser alarm stat. I believe the purpose of this would be to alarm inside the cab if the coolant temp got hot and the monkey holding the steering wheel wasn't paying attention. Now there's a wire that goes from here up to here, which is the solenoid for the air fan. I'm just curious what you guys think about removing the Kaiser alarm stat, because the wiring's all jacked up. The wiring looks bad. I'm not hauling heavy and I'm really good about paying attention to my gauges from past experiences. So the question's twofold. Have you guys gotten rid of your Kaiser alarm stats on these old trucks? And if so, what are you replacing it with to control the fan air solenoid? A bunch of people have asked, very much appreciated by the way, about the dogs, because sometimes they don't show up in videos of recently. Sometimes there's only one or the other one. Both of them are alive and doing very, very well. They don't come down here often when it's this cold, probably for obvious reasons. I really appreciate you guys checking in. Both the dogs are doing great. It's just arguable that they're smarter than me. Obviously the right tool would have been the West Virginia socket. Keep water from coming in. That's not even really a temporary solution, but it will keep the rain out until I get essentially a new roof put on here. And I don't think I'm gonna put horns back on the top. I kind of like this super flat top look. Yeah, I think that looks super slick without the horns up there. Gonna get new lights and get rid of that CB whip that's off center. Never noticed that, and now I can't stand that. Looky looky. It's from my good friends at 4 State Trucks. I'm like a kid on Christmas every time their packages show up. Holy cow, they're heavy. It's a shame I don't have a bunch of machinery that would hydraulically lift these heavy packages up, move them around. Woo! Anytime you're lifting heavy stuff, you gotta make sure you lift with your back in a jerky, twisty motion. Keep your legs and knees right out of it. Shockingly, these holes don't line up perfectly for my near factory precision. I gotta oversize these holes a couple of thousandths. You can't buy that kind of accuracy. Oh, come on. End up having to through bolt these things. Kind of important, do not use knife, open other end. Probably, because there's a seat there. Looky there. Gosh, that's nice. Sweet! That's why I do the big hole, because the hole comes out to here. Got all this room to slide these seats back. But man, this thing is comfortable even like this. That's where that guy's going. There are the two pups. What are you guys doing? Huh? What you guys doing? Everybody's been asking about you. Huh? Okay. Golly, that looks nice. How slick is that? Let's go throw the other one in. It is like high 20s, and some guy wants to come out and look at this Kenworth. So I got the engine block heater running and the heater blowing under there. This guy's coming from like a long way away to look at this. I told him it's cold. I hope it starts for him. I meant to put the camera up and do a cold start, but it was a very disappointing cold start. This thing actually starts pretty good in the cold, shockingly. But the guy did end up buying this. He put some money down and he's coming back with a low boy to pick it up. Sad to see it go, but I can't keep every truck. I got it to a good point, and he's actually planning on restoring this thing completely. For now, she's going to a new home. You're not going to find 3 people. Well, these seats are in. They're all hooked up. We're ready to go super trucking, boys. I don't know if you can see how far forward this seat is. That's because I'm hitting on the back of the cab. Once I do the big hole conversion, this seat can pretty much sit back here, and then the seat itself will be able to slide forward and back, which is gonna make this cab feel so much more roomy. That's why the big hole conversions are absolutely worth doing if you have a 359. Let's finish it off with a cold start for old time's sake. While I go fix this and a myriad of other things, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you on the flippity flop. Mingo, say goodbye, buddy. Say goodbye.